Hi and welcome to Marriage Under Construction. I am your host, Evangelist Lady Grace, founder and president of the Woman of Grace Club of Worcester. Today I am going to talk to you about commitment in your marriage. What is commitment? And visit a few scriptures on commitment and honoring your vows. I hope that this will help you to stay married and stay faithful and stay loyal to your word. The last time I was with you, I talked about marriage and talked about offense in marriage and how it destroys marriage. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about commitment in marriage. And that is one of the factors, or one of the things that destroys marriages, is that people are just not committed and they're not keeping up to their promise. You know, marriage is a choice and not a requirement for the purpose of fulfillment. It is a force generated by a decision, and a decision thereby is an act of will to commit, to never go back on your word. You know, it's interesting because I looked at several marital vows, and of all the marital vows that I've read, it's indicating that marriage is something that it's a promise, a decision that is made to keep a promise and to keep a promise to someone. So what is commitment? Let's look at the definition of commitment. It is an action you take to be dedicated and devoted to your promise to give something to someone or something. So it's a decision that you make. Okay, so it's an action to give something. So in the sense of marriage, when it comes to marriage, you make a promise to give yourself give yourself to that person, give your time, give your patience, give your love. And that is what, you'll find that destroy marriage, because people are just not committed to that promise. They make a vow and thereby not being stand by that vow. Now, Ecclesiastes 5:4-6 says, "When you make a vow to God, do not delay to pay it. He has no pleasure in fools. Pay what you have vowed." You make a vow, and marriage comes from God. So regardless of who you are and whether or not you believe in God, it's His product. So you are using His product, so therefore you're acknowledging Him as the creator of that product. And when you make a vow, don't be a fool, because God has no time for that. So don't be a fool. Acknowledge that vow. Be committed to that. And when you make the vow to commit to your spouse, it is a vow that you're going to respect them, you're going to honor them, you're going to care for them, you're going to be loyal, you're going to be understanding. Understanding is communication, faithfulness, uplifting, and anticipating their needs and meeting those needs. Sacrificing to that union. So this is all that, when you make that vow in marriage, this is all that you're committed to do. Now, marriage is not about sex. It's not about sex, it's not about love. It's making a promise to do something and to give to someone. I've had a young lady that came up to me and she was sharing with me what she's going through in her marriage, and I brought that piece up, this very same statement, that in the marital vow there was nothing in there. There's no clause that said that if things don't work out, then you divorce. It said for better or for worse. That means if the person decides to change tomorrow, you're to honor your vow, you're to honor your commitment, you're to honor your word that you made that promise to that person and to that thing. It's as the institution of marriage. So commitment to meet the needs without even expectations, because oftentimes you'll find that you would meet you're honoring your part of the agreement, but the other part is not. Well, it still does not excuse you, because commitment starts with you. It still doesn't excuse you from making your commitment. And I know I'm kind of going a little bit fast here, but I kind of wanted to get all of this out, in a timely manner, so that you're not watching a lengthy video. But commit to your marriage. Honor your vow. Honor your spouse. Let your word be your bond. Don't decide that you're going to change because of. There's no because of. When you made that vow, there was no because. There was no clause that said you can now change your mind because the other person changed their mind. There is nothing in that marital vow that write that for you to do that. That's it in a nutshell. Being committed to your marriage, stay committed to your partner. Commitment to marriage is not about sex. So what if there's no sex? You still remain committed. What if there's no what if? There was no what if in that agreement, and you signed that covenant, because it was a covenant agreement, it was a contract that you signed that says for better or for worse, you are going to abide by your promise to love, honor, cherish, care, forgive. All of that comes underneath marriage. So I hope this quick video on commitment in marriage will help you to remain in your marriage and help you to be strong in a marriage where if the other person is not committed to you, then you will at least know that, hey, I'm fulfilling my end of the agreement or the covenant. I am standing by my word, and I am not going to make, because of this other person, the other party in the marriage, because they changed, so I'm going to change. I am going to honor my vows, honor my word, because my word represents me. The Bible said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God. So God's word is God himself. He said, I watch over my word to perform it, shall not return to me void. So all of this is saying to you that when you speak something, it doesn't matter, you can take this a little further out of the marital context and even put it in relationships, whether it's you're on your job or partnership in anything, your word, your bond. So when you go back, revisit your marital contract and say, well, there was no clause in there, so therefore even if the other person changed for better or for worse, you still remain in there. I mean, some of you might be saying, but what if the other person wants to change? What if the other person wants to divorce me? Then hey, you are not obligated or forced to hold on to someone who does not want to be with you, but at least you can rest in mind knowing that you have kept your word, you have kept your end of the contract or the agreement. We thank you for joining us. Please continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and YouTube. Go in God's peace.